Hi students, it's Shayna from EspressoEnglish.net. Have you ever missed your flight? Remember that in English we say, I missed my flight, and not, I lost my flight. Today we'll learn some phrases you can use to talk about bad travel experiences and problems that can happen on a trip. You can learn a lot more travel English. Phrases for airports, hotels, restaurants, shopping, sightseeing, and more inside my Everyday English Speaking course, which contains a section on travel English in Level 1 of the course. Click on the link in the video description for more information about Everyday English Speaking. Okay, now let's get started with our first phrase. My flight was overbooked, and I got bumped to a later one. A flight is a trip by airplane. If the flight is overbooked, it means that the airline sold too many tickets and there is not enough space on the plane for all of the people who have purchased tickets. This means that some people will get bumped to a later flight. They can't go on the flight at the original time and have to wait for a different flight later. It took me 4 days to recover from the jet lag. Jet lag is that feeling when you travel to a different time zone and your body's clock is different from the local time. This makes you wake up too early or feel tired in the middle of the day, for example. Depending on the time difference, it can take several days for your body to adjust to the new time zone. We can also use the word as an adjective by saying, I'm jet lagged. My hotel was in a really seedy area. A seedy area is a place that looks dirty, disorganized, and possibly dangerous. Another word that can be used to describe this type of neighborhood is sketchy. I was mugged while walking in the city center in broad daylight. If you were mugged, it means that a robber or a thief stole valuable things from you, like your wallet, cell phone, purse or bag, or jewelry, while you were on the street or in another public place. In broad daylight means that the event happened during the daytime and was clearly visible. Mugging may be with or without violence. If a weapon was used, we often say mugged at knife point or mugged at gunpoint. Or you can say robbed at knife point or robbed at gunpoint. I hope that never happens to you. The weather was miserable. The rain didn't let up for a minute. When we describe the weather as miserable, it means the weather was terrible, very bad, usually with lots of rain and/or it was cold. When we say the rain didn't let up, it means the rain didn't stop, so it rained continuously during the trip. We forgot to bring bug spray and got completely bitten up. Bug spray, also called bug repellent or insect repellent, is a chemical product you can apply to your skin to keep insects away. If you got bitten up, it means you got lots of bites by mosquitoes or other insects. I ended up with huge blisters after our walking tour of the city. Blisters are pockets under your skin that are filled with fluid. People often get blisters on their feet after walking, running, or hiking for a long time. You can also get blisters if your shoes don't fit well. And the phrasal verb ended up is used to describe the final result of something. I ended up getting blisters after my walking tour. Something I ate didn't agree with me, and I got the runs. If you say that a food didn't agree with you, it means it made you a little bit sick. Your stomach felt agitated, and maybe you threw up. That means vomited. Or you got the runs. That means you had diarrhea. I bought a t-shirt, but it was a total ripoff. A ripoff is something that is extremely overpriced. It costs much more than it should. For example, if a bottle of water costs $2 in the pharmacy, but it costs $6 inside the baseball stadium, then we can say it's a ripoff. The place was nothing but a tourist trap. A tourist trap is a place that is designed to attract tourists and make them spend lots of money. It's usually a place that has lots of positive publicity, but isn't very interesting in reality because the main goal is to get the tourists' money. I was hungover on the last day of my trip. If you are hungover, it means that you feel sick, you have a headache, you are tired, and perhaps a stomach ache because you drank too much alcohol the night before. The adjective is hungover. I'm hungover. And the noun is hangover, so we could also say, I had a hangover on the last day of my trip. I had to catch the red eye in order to get back in time for work on Monday morning. A red eye is a flight that leaves very late at night and arrives early the next morning. It is called a red eye because you can't sleep very well on the plane, so you usually arrive tired, with your eyes red and irritated from lack of sleep. Well, I hope you don't experience any of these things if you have a trip in the near future, but if you do, now you know some English expressions for describing them. When you're in a difficult or stressful situation, it can be even harder to speak English while you're nervous or upset. But when you know the right phrases to use, then it becomes much easier. When you take my Everyday English Speaking course, you'll become much better prepared to speak English in any situation in daily life, so you can handle things calmly and confidently without panicking because you don't know the right words to say. Come join the Everyday English Speaking course by clicking on the link in the video description. It's my most popular course because it's so practical and useful. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video.